All right, so we're diving deep today into American Satan. And it's interesting, this one comes from a review.
Okay.
A 4 out of 5 star review.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're going to figure out why this reviewer was so into it.
Right.
So right off the bat, the reviewer mentions that they found this
Yeah.
while looking at musicals.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm already curious about, like, what kind of
Yeah, what kind of musical elements?
what kind of musical elements are in this?
Does it actually have musical elements? Like, is it an actual musical or is it?
Is there something else going on? Yeah, and they point out that this film seems to be pretty under the radar.
Okay.
Like, not a lot of people have seen it or talked about it. And then we get to the plot.
Okay.
So there's this band, 2 Americans and 2 Brits. And they decide to make a deal with the devil for fame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they even go so far as to perform this ritual to seal the pact.
Oh, okay.
So you can already tell. We're getting into some, like, classic rock star tropes here.
Yeah, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Right. Except, but with this dark Faustian twist to it. What do you think about the whole, like, rock star trope thing? Like, why?
Well, it's enduring. It's definitely enduring, I think, because it plays into our, like,
Yeah.
fascinations with excess and ambition and also the consequences that inevitably follow those things.
Yeah.
But the Faustian bargain element,
Yeah.
I think, adds like a whole other
Right.
layer to it, because it introduces this moral dilemma,
Yeah.
this ultimate temptation. And in this movie, it's not just like a thematic element; it's actually driving the plot. Like the
Yeah.
band is literally sacrificing
Yeah.
their integrity for fame, which is
Right.
like the classic deal with the devil.
The reviewer also mentions that the casting was amazing.
Okay.
They said the characters and their choices felt so real. What do you think makes us buy into the choices a character makes in a film?
Well, I think for a story to really resonate with us, the characters need to be believable.
Yeah.
Like their actions have to make sense given their personalities and their goals.
Yeah.
And they have to react authentically to the events that are happening in the story.
Yeah.
So I think when characters are well developed and their choices feel earned, it draws us deeper into the narrative.
Okay, but like,
Yeah,
aren't there times when we enjoy a character?
absolutely.
Precisely because they're acting irrationally or making surprising choices?
Of course, unpredictable characters can be super compelling.
Okay, so it's a balance.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk music. Because the reviewer raves about the music
Okay.
and gives us some reference points.
Yeah.
Black Veil Brides, Falling in Reverse,
Yeah.
Escape the Fate. And these bands are all known for a certain style of rock and metal that's both aggressive and melodic,
Right.
often with like dark and theatrical elements. So if you're into that kind of music, you should definitely check out the soundtrack.
That makes sense, yeah.
What do you think about that style of music? Like, what is it about that style that might appeal to someone who's seeking fame and fortune?
Well, music can be incredibly evocative, right? It taps into our emotions and desires. And that style of rock that you're talking about, it often embodies this sense of rebellion, a rejection of societal norms,
Yeah.
which I think could align with the ambitions of someone who's seeking fame outside the conventional path.
And then the reviewer points out something really interesting.
Okay.
They say that the movie, maybe unintentionally, reveals the dark side of the music industry.
Oh,
So the record label,
yeah.
who's totally oblivious to the whole devil deal thing,
Right, right.
is portrayed as manipulative and exploitative, prioritizing profit over the band's well-being.
Sadly, this mirrors a lot of real-world accounts of artists being mistreated and exploited within the music business.
Wow.
Yeah, it really highlights the power dynamics at play and the ethical gray areas that can emerge when people are chasing fame and fortune.
Okay, so the movie seems like it's hitting all the right notes. But here's the thing. The reviewer only gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
There's this like unexplainable element holding it back.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so what do you make of that?
Well, it just goes to show the subjective nature of art.
Right?
Like what one person finds profoundly moving, another person might find just okay.
Yeah.
Our personal experiences, our tastes, even our mood at the time can color how we respond to a film.
So we've got this Faustian bargain. We've got these classic rock star tropes. We've got a commentary on the music industry. What does it all mean?
I think it leaves us with a thought-provoking question. If you were offered fame and fortune, but you had to make a deal with the devil, what would you do? Would you resist the temptation, or would the allure of success be too much to bear?
That's a good question. I think this deep dive has convinced me to check out American Satan.
I think you should.
I encourage all of you listening to do the same. Form your own opinion. Who knows? Maybe it'll become your new favorite movie.